Pakistan's election is due on 25th July. We have with us Outlook's Chief of Bureau, Pranay Sharma. We will discuss about the significance of this election and also how it will affect India. As you know, the election is coming soon. What do you think is the significance of this election?
I think, the 2 points we will have to keep in mind. One, that this is the 3rd consecutive time that there will be a transfer of power from one civilian government to the other. So, on a positive note, we can see that there is a serious attempt now to have a democratic kind of a tradition in Pakistan, which earlier was not there,
right.
And there were always questions of what kind of a democracy Pakistan is. So that is a very positive thing. Now the second part of it, the new leadership that it is going to throw up, what it means for India and for Pakistan, there are big questions.
Absolutely, because right now Benazir Bhutto is no more and Nawaz Sharif is in jail. So at this point of time, how do you rate the chances of Imran Khan?
See, by all predictions or poll analysis that Pakistan has had in the last few weeks, most of them have been showing that Imran Khan's PTI, he himself and his party, they clearly have an edge over the others.
Right.
Mainly because the fight is mainly over Punjab, that is the most important province.
Absolutely.
In Pakistan. You have 141 of the seats in parliament which comes from Punjab. So whoever controls Punjab has a head start. And as of now, this is what they were talking about, that Imran has a clear edge. But in the last few days, people have started talking about also PMLN, that is Nawaz Sharif's party, which was thought of totally marginalized, have come back into the game. So people are not that clear in their judgment or in predicting that it's a clear victory for Imran, though he has an edge. But we will have to see what kind of an impact Nawaz Sharif's return has made. Though he is in jail, he took a political gamble, by returning. He wants to play the victimhood card, that he wanted to do a lot of things for the underprivileged, for the people of Pakistan and the establishment, and we will have to read the army here.
Right.
They did not allow, a democratically elected prime minister to function. So he is waiting for them to come in big numbers on that particular day and cast their vote in favor of his party.
So do you think Imran Khan is a very strong contender this time?
I think, if you compare Imran or his PTI, they've been around almost for 20 years now.
Right.
There was, I remember once when I had some years back when I had interviewed him, there was also a lot of traction, especially among the urban youth, on Imran Khan.
Right.
Don't forget that he's a very charismatic leader. He has been Pakistan cricketing icon, So there are a large number of followers for Imran. But Imran has not had the network which could marginalize or upstage Nawaz Sharif's PMLN in Punjab. So far he had failed. This time, as I was mentioning, everyone is saying that Imran has a good chance, he has an edge. So let's see how it works out.
If at all Imran Khan becomes the Prime Minister, what do you think will be the effect on India-Pakistan relationship?
See, this is a question that is being talked about by most observers in India, and everybody is mulling over it. The problem in Pakistan is the second question, Yes, on one hand we see this is the 3rd consecutive time that a civilian government is transferring power to another one. But how independent or how sovereign are these leaders? Do they have the independence or the room to take key decisions, particularly when it comes to Pakistan's relation with India? That is something I would say that they don't really have that kind of a room, because the army establishment has been very, very important, and whoever comes and has been elected as the Prime Minister have to keep that in mind. What are the zones, what are the red lines that the army is drawing for you, and to play within that.
Right. Because Pakistan, I think democracy is mostly dominated by the army, right?
See, I mean, this is the 71st year that it has been created. Of that, the Pakistani army has ruled directly for over 30 years, and long spells. And interestingly, there has not been a single Pakistani Prime Minister who has been able to complete his 5-year term so far. The person who came closest to it was Prime Minister Gilani,
Right.
who had 4 years, 2 months. Nawaz Sharif, in his third term, he was thrown out when he completed 4 years, 1 month.
Almost.
But none of them, almost. A lot of people thought that perhaps he's going to make history by completing the full 5 years, but he couldn't. So he was ousted from power. It had to be someone else from his party who was brought in and who completed the term, remaining months, whatever was left. So this is one big question in Pakistan, that how come so far in the last 7 decades you have not been able to have a single leader who could complete this?
So, Imran Khan's personality is like, he is known for his forceful personality, someone who is very, very tough. So do you think he will be able to break this army, dominating the politics?
Shaukat, I mean, the question that we will all mull over or we will ask is, Imran is tough, meaning we've seen Imran a tough person in the cricketing field.
Absolutely, yeah.
But we have not really seen Imran or what he'll be when it comes to ruling, in Islamabad, at the center, so to say. Meaning, so far in Pakistan's history, there has not been a single Prime Minister who has been there and who has managed to be there without the army support. So far, even Nawaz Sharif, for that matter, if we look at his rise, Nawaz Sharif was brought in by the army as a counter to the Bhuttos, And then he started having problems with it, perhaps the independent streak in his nature, all that happened. But there is not a single leader in Pakistan, especially a Prime Minister that you can talk about, who has not been leaning on the army. Their rise, the way they have been able to expand their influence has always been approved by the army, and they could only go that far, to the extent that the army approved. Beyond that, there has always been a problem. Whenever the army thought this guy is getting too big for his boots, that leader has been toppled.
Right. And one last question. Okay, so this, the other leaders, the ex-prime ministers, they were in favor of Indo-Pak peace relationship. Do you think Imran Khan will also, because all his political things were were more about hawkism. So do you think he will maintain the same peaceful relationship with India?
See, one reading of the Indian establishment is that since he is being propped up with a lot of support from the army, he is the new poster boy to counter Nawaz Sharif. Imran will be doing the bidding of the army, what the army wants. Now, I remember during one of the interviews that Outlook had done, some years back, where Imran, his case was not as strong as it is today. At that time, he was just another aspirant. At that time, I remember he had said that we want friendly, cooperative relation with India, like the way Canada and US have with each other.
Okay.
Now Imran, if he does come to power, what kind of a tune he'll sing, what kind of a line he will pursue, whether he'll be as sincere and as serious as he was, not hawkish, but sounding extremely rational, and sincere. Will he have the same kind of a spirit in dealing or engaging with India? Something we will have to see.
So most of the discussions that we just had will reflect in the upcoming issue of Outlook.
You're right, but we'll have many more things because we have a number of Pakistani writers. We are going to reflect their views also. We have some of their very senior, seasoned columnists who are writing about whether this election brings any fundamental change in Pakistan, the way the country has been moving or the way we have been looking at the country in terms of its relation with India, in terms of the civilian-military relationship, which is a very important thing in Pakistan. whether it will also bring about a change in that. All these questions have been addressed by them. And our main reporting has also come from a Pakistani journalist, basically. So we are getting into the election there from the Pakistani perspective, because they can tell us what has been happening over the last few weeks. So that will be reflecting here. At the same time, what's going to happen, we also have, apart from a piece that I have done, we have a former secretary of MA, Indian diplomat, who has done a column also, giving his views, how things are going to pan out. So we'll have a very substantial package in this, and I'm sure our readers would enjoy it.